One beautiful sunny day, a mom and her kids were having a picnic in a park next to a small lake. There were 3 kids. One was 6, one was 5, one was 3, and they're running around having fun. And mom says that she was watching them very closely the whole time. And the whole time that they were there, she saw nobody else in the park. But pretty soon it's time to go home. So she packs up all their stuff and they start heading down the trail, which is about 2 miles down to the parking area through the forest. But it's a really well-established trail. Unless you went off the trail on purpose, it would be very difficult to get lost on this trail. So off they go down the path to the parking lot. And they're walking and all of her kids are in front of her. And the mom all of a sudden thinks that she hears somebody walking behind them, which is kind of weird because they haven't seen anybody all day. So she takes a look around to see if she can find somebody behind there. And in the 3 or 4 seconds that she's turned around, her 5-year-old has vanished. Now she's thinking, he's 5 years old. Maybe he stepped off the path because he had to take a leak or something. So she asked the other 2 kids, well, where did he go? And both kids said, the big man with the scary face came out, took his hands, and led him back into the trees. Now, the 2 kids were not scared at all. In fact, she said that it was kind of like they were drugged. They were all kind of spacey and fuzzy. But she, on the other hand, freaks out and starts screaming for her kid. She's looking for her kid. But she can't do anything. She can't go anywhere because she has the other 2 that she needs to take care of. So she does the only thing that she can do, and that is pull out her phone and call the police. And search and rescue, they respond right away and start a search for the child immediately. Now, over the course of this search, which was huge and spanned miles, they could never find a trace of the kid. The canines couldn't pick up a scent. They never found any broken branches, anything that would have signified a kid somewhere out in those woods. Now, of course, first suspicion fell on the mother, but she was so destroyed that it became evident very quickly that she had nothing to do with this. And the search went on for weeks with lots of volunteers. But eventually they found nothing. So the search just kind of petered out. Volunteers, however, did continue to search on their own. And one day the search and rescue unit got a phone call that a body had been located and needed to be brought down from the mountain. One of those volunteers was out looking one day and decided he would go to a place where he didn't think that anybody had searched, just in case a body had been brought there to be dumped, because there's no way that a child would have gotten there on their own. And as he's going along, he comes to the base of a tall, rocky slope. And he looks up and he can see something up there. So he pulls out his binoculars and takes a look. And sure enough, there's the kid stuffed in kind of a rocky outcrop. And he recognizes the color of the shirt, so he knows right away that is the child that they've been looking for. The search and rescue unit took almost an hour to get the boy's body down, and they just couldn't believe what they were seeing. Not only was it 15 miles from where he'd gone missing, but there's no way that he could have gotten up there all by himself. I mean, even the search and rescue people with all of their climbing gear, it's hard for them to get up to that spot. So there's no way that a 5-year-old boy is going to do that on his own. And not only that, but the kid doesn't have a scratch on him. He's missing his shoes, but his feet aren't damaged and they're not even dirty. So it's not like an animal dragged him up there. And from what they can tell, he hadn't been dead for that long. He'd been out in the wilderness for over a month, but it didn't look like he'd been dead more than a day or 2. They found out from the coroner that the boy had died of exposure. He'd probably frozen to death late at night 2 nights before they had found him. There were never any suspects and never any more answers.